Hey everybody, Logan here, and today we're discussing collecting for the PlayStation 5 in 2022 and why this is the year I decided to actually do it, even though I've had a PlayStation 5 since launch. Personally, I've had a handful of games since the consoles come out, a few digital here and there, but this year I really decided to pick up collecting because of all the stuff that's been coming out. But before we get into the video anymore, just want to make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video, head on over to our spring shop, link in the description below, where you can pick up all kinds of great Red Bandana gaming merch and really help out the channel. With that being said, the PlayStation 5 has had a lot more games come out than I ever expected. So, I should have expected it with everything that we saw with the PS4, even though I really didn't like the PlayStation 4. I thought it was a pretty poorly designed console. People will argue with that. Hey, everyone's got the right to their own opinion, and that's completely fine. But I really think the PlayStation 5 is a banger this gen, and I was always pro Xbox. I was always a bigger Xbox guy, but with the PlayStation 5, it's just really had me make a sharp right and go the opposite direction. And I actually think that's a good thing. And the way Microsoft has been headed as a company and the decisions they've been making, even after the acquisition of Activision Blizzard, has been very sketchy. I don't really like their company ideals anymore, and how they're not focusing on video games and things that aren't video games. Or yeah, okay, they're like, hey, let's buy these game companies, but not make any announcements, not do anything with it to get people excited. So what Sony's doing, and Nintendo as well, they're focusing on games. And we see that this year with a number of exclusives that have hit the PlayStation 5, along the lines of Horizon Forbidden West, Sifu, and a number of other exclusives. So the reason why I started collecting more for the PS5, I'm going to give you guys a little inside look at some of the games that I've picked up in the last number of months, that I've added, about 3 months now, and some a little before, which are definitely signs that the PlayStation 5 is a great place to start collecting, especially if you're a physical gamer.
Welcome to Red Bandana Gaming, the channel where Logan will show you everything from gameplay to gear. Their crew is here to take you on a journey through every atmosphere. Releases to news, you don't have to choose. Red Bandana Gaming is here for you.
Now, one thing before we dive into this video any further, I just want to say, for those of you who are watching, if you're a wrestling fan, you know why I'm wearing this shirt. Rest in peace, Scott Hall, one of my favorite wrestlers of all times. Definitely played a big part into my in my childhood. I mimicked a lot of the things he did. The hey, yo, and then the walk. I used to do that all the time. So let's give a moment of silence for the great Scott Hall. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for bearing with me on that, allowing me to do that. But let's get in to some of these games. Now, I have actually a couple of different stacks here. I have everything set up the way I want to present it to you guys ahead of time. So the PlayStation 5, just like the PlayStation 4, and of course the Switch, but the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation Vita really were big with limited run games. So whether limited run is publishing them or distributing, there's a number of limited run games. I'm going to show you a couple, which I picked up. One I picked up because it's the first of all the limited run games to be put out on the PlayStation, and another one, if I'm not mistaken, is they're both numbered in the series, and we're going to see another one that's also been distributed by them. So collecting for the PlayStation 5 through limited run is a lot of fun, in my opinion. You get, just like on the Switch, you get physical games of digital games you never thought you would be able to get. I've also ordered, don't have them yet, Shantae and Blood Rain 1 and 2 Special Editions. So the double pack for PS5 over the Switch, yes. But I do have Shantae on the Switch. But I decided to get it on the PS5 because I wanted that 4K upscale goodness, all that. Even though it's not supposedly over the top, but with the better frame rates and stuff like that, I wanted it on the PS5. But I did get Cthulhu Saves Christmas, which is, I'm not even sure the type of game it is. It looks like one of those Decision old school retro. I'll throw up some footage, and there you go. This was the first one made by Z-Boyd Games. It is limited run number 001 for the PlayStation 5. So limited run games are really fun to collect. My next one is Alphadia Genesis. Alphadia Genesis is a classic, I guess you could say Super Nintendo 16-bit era style JRPG. Now which upset me, they have this one, and now Limited Run has just announced Alphadia Genesis 1 and 2 double pack. So if you want both of those, you're going to get those, or you can just get this one. I picked this one up because I like classic JRPGs, and there's no other place to get these besides Switch, but on PS5. I saw this on PS5 at my local game store. They did have it. I missed the order on this one, so I did pick that one up, and this is limited run number 008. Now, another good thing about PlayStation currently is the exclusives. And the exclusives I'm talking about are ones that you wouldn't expect. Yeah, first one, I'm only going to show you two in each category. Why? Because there's so many. I can go on for hours about how the PlayStation 5 has really exceeded my expectations for just anything I ever thought. So first one you guys know and love, and that's Final Fantasy VII Remake. So with this, we got the full remake, and then we also got the downloadable content called Intermission, which was Yuffie's story. And wow, it really does look better. It looked really good on PS4. I beat it on PS4, brought it over, and it's just so looks so good. Even though I'm not a big fan of how they changed it from turn-based, and I even talked about how it at times can be press X to win, because some battles you can just spam the attack button and win. Other ones require a little more thinking with the noggin, but some battles can just be beaten with press X to win. But you can't find this on any other console. Yeah, you can get the original version on PS4, but this is the only place to get it. Supposedly it'll be a timed exclusive, but by the time it hits Xbox and PC, nobody's gonna care. So we've all been played it on PS4, PS5, so you got that. Next one is another JRPG in an awesome series. This one was originally on the Vita and then brought over to the PS5, and I haven't seen this on PS4 either. I've just seen it on here, and it's called Neptunia Reverse. Games like this, it's in the Neptunia series, where each of the characters is based off of a different console. If I'm not mistaken, it was I think it was that Wii, PlayStation, Dreamcast, and Xbox. I think the different characters. Lich knew exactly which ones. I honestly don't remember, but because I played one of the other ones in the series quite some time ago, and this is the one that started it all, but remastered for the PS5, so I said, yeah, I'm going to pick this one up. No, I haven't played it yet, because I have a whole long backlog, and if you guys know, I'm currently playing Strangers of Paradise, so Stranger of Paradise, but definitely. And that's another one I'm playing on the PlayStation 5, because to me, Final Fantasy games belong on the PlayStation 5. Next is another JRPG, which, yes, it did come out physically on the Switch as well. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen it anywhere on the Xbox, but supposedly it has. I just haven't seen it physically. And that is Astria Ascending. Astria Ascending is, again, a JRPG. Some people are liking it, some people not so much. I think the art style is gorgeous. I think the gameplay is fantastic. I've enjoyed it, and to me, it just feels like it belongs on the PlayStation. This feels like a PlayStation game. You can pick it up on the Switch. It feels great on the Switch, but I don't know. For some reason, it just felt like this was the place to play this game, and these type of games just feel more at home. It actually gives me that feeling when I used to play a lot of my JRPGs. When I really got big into JRPGs, it was PlayStation 1, and it's starting to give me that feeling again. And playing with these controllers, yes, I like these controllers. People are going to maybe either agree or heavily disagree, but this is the first generation of PlayStation controllers that I like better than the Xbox. Not because of the joystick placement, but because of the ergonomics and just the functionality with the DualSense. It's just a fantastic controller. Yeah, it's a little more expensive, sometimes the same price as the Xbox, where the Xbox controller has not had any updates in terms of basically hardware. It has software functionality, which he just did. I did a video on that, but this is a fantastic controller. So we have the Astria Ascending, and now I'm going to get to another thing that I've seen with the PlayStation 5 that's also been pretty interesting that they've been doing, and that's bringing games from previous generation consoles to the PS5 physically, where the Xbox is only getting a digital update or something like that with, let's say, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Yes, it's technically on Series X, but when you pop in your Xbox One version, just updates, where there's a physical version. I like having that physical version of games, which brings me to Terminator Resistance Enhanced. This was originally released on PS4 and Xbox One, but late in the life cycle, so they brought it to the PS5 with enhancements, derp, and they didn't bring it over to the Series X, and I was like, that's interesting. So this was originally released through limited run, but not as a limited run game. It was released through them as a distributed game, and it was supposed to be released into Best Buy stores. Apparently Best Buy stores never got it, and like I said, through limited run distribution, and it just never happened. So it was released standalone physically in the UK. Europe, I don't know if it was all of Europe or just the UK. I think it was all of Europe. Don't quote me on that. If you guys know, drop it in the comments below. But games like this is the only place to get them, which is on the PlayStation. And I'm like, man, that's just one more check off, just one more. That makes it even that much better. And I'm like, am I really converting this gen? Possibly. Next one, and the last game I'm going to talk about. Yeah, I saved the best for last. No, I didn't. It's an unlikely candidate for just something fun, something to play with the family, and they brought it from the Wii. I think the original was on the Wii, and then they brought it to the Switch. And what was funny, it's Crazy Chicken. Crazy Chicken Shooter Edition, Wanted and Remake. I'm not sure if it's Shooter Edition Remake Wanted, or if these were... it's actually kind of fun. It's something good to throw in. Now, one thing is, I'm going to have to take a very close shot of this and overlay it. But on the back of the box, they didn't take out the picture of the Switch controls. Yeah. So you're probably seeing that right now. I laughed, and I laughed, and I laughed. And I had to get it because of that. And then I was actually pleasantly surprised. Now, that's another thing you're going to see is PlayStation 5 has a lot of these oddball titles from GS2 games or Microids or stuff like that, which are $30 and less, $40 or less, sometimes $15 at GameStop. And you can build your PlayStation 5 collection pretty rapidly of some of them are decent, some of them not so much, but you can get some pretty decent hidden gems from that $15 or $20 or $30 selection of PS5 games, new releases at GameStop or other of your local game stores. So yeah, if you want to build a physical collection, you can do it pretty easily with games like this. And not all of them are bad. Yes, some of them are poo, but not all of them. So there you go. That's me collecting for the PlayStation 5 in 2022, and why I've decided it seems like the, dare I say it, the better place to play, especially if you're a gamer that likes to collect physically. Now, don't get me wrong, the Series X is still fantastic, and you know that I do like the Xbox, the machine itself, and it's a great machine. Game Pass is fantastic, and you can try out all kinds of games. I just did a little video on Infernax, which was straight to Game Pass, but you can still pick it up on PlayStation 5 and Switch as well. Now, if that game came out physically, I would snatch that up in a heartbeat. I do not remember seeing it on limited run, but if it does, I would definitely say snatch that one up. If I find it physically, I will be buying myself a copy of Infernax. But yeah, I'll probably get it on Switch. It felt like a Switch game. But if I can find it on PlayStation 5, I'll get it on PlayStation 5. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. Have you been converted from the Xbox to the PlayStation? Have you always been a PlayStation 5 diehard since you got it? Do you even have a PlayStation 5? Were you debating on collecting for? What are your thoughts on this subject? Really want to hear it. Drop it in the comments below. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. Head on over to our socials. Follow us over there. Make sure you check out redbandanagaming.com. Check out our Spring Shop link in the description below where you can get all kinds of great merch. Really help us out. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.